What are we going to talk about?
I have no idea. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode. I'm a little more awake today. I no longer have brain frog. You know, I think I'm going to make
brain frog.
I think I'm going to make a T-shirt saying, "Do you have brain frog?" or something like that.
Well,
oh my, we're just pegging this shit.
Well, listen, you're the one who told me to put the mic closer to my
No,
face.
it was me. It was me. So I'm going to turn me down a little bit.
All right, down. How's that?
We'll get this sorted out eventually, peeps.
Sure, that's what they all say.
Yeah,
right up until it implodes.
Yep. Chris is falling asleep on us already. She needs some garlicky eggs.
You know, yeah. Well, listen, I'm just going to. Every time I say anything, I get in trouble these days.
Oh. You know what? I agree. Put him on a short leash. He doesn't need all that freedom.
I'm just a dick. Just a dick. Dick.
It's like one of those after-school things. I'm just a Bill.
I'm just a dick.
Okay. All right, so what are we going to talk about? Do we have anything?
I don't know.
Well, I want to talk about something.
Okay, let's hear it. What's up?
I don't know if I want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about something.
All right.
So we were talking about going to the Bikers for Boobs rally last Sunday.
God, what a disaster that ended up being.
And neither one of us ended up going.
Right, because it was raining.
Yeah, it was the fear of rain. Now, I have often said I don't mind riding in the rain. I do mind riding to someplace because I don't want to show up to someplace sopping wet.
I just don't like riding in the rain in general.
Yeah.
And honestly, like to be 1,000, I don't particularly even care riding on a wet road, even if it's not raining. I just don't like water on two wheels. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being cautious. But no, like I said, if we get caught in the rain on the way home, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, and I've done that. You get stuck in the rain, you just ride it out.
Right.
I mean,
but I don't want to get wet going to someplace because then you're stuck in wet clothes, shoes, what have you.
And that's the thing, though. It was supposed to rain at like 11 or noon.
Yeah.
And then that thing wasn't over until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And I'm like, no.
So we ended up not going. So what did you end up doing?
We went to the Cleveland Aquarium and then to the beach.
What is it about the beach? I mean, Lake Erie's different than the ocean.
I don't know. I've just always big bodies of water, crashing waves, the smell of the fresh air has just always been my happy place.
Well,
I mean, yes, the areas in Cleveland on the lake aren't near as nice as like if you go to Geneva on the lake or Port Clinton or Kelly's Island, anything like that. But it's still got the crashing waves and just the sounds and the smells have always been my happy place.
Yeah. She likes to smell like dead fish, apparently.
The only thing I disagree with, which is fine, we're two different people, is I think large bodies of water stink like shit.
No, they smell like dead fish. It's not shit.
Everything else you said sounds great.
Honestly, the other day it wasn't that bad. Not
as
bad as
it wasn't.
I've been to Edgewater. That's where we ended up going, was Edgewater, and I've been there before, and it's usually not that great. But I don't know if they've been cleaning it up more often or what.
It smelled like. It's just. It smelled
you don't like nature. Shut up.
What the hell are you talking about? I live in nature. I just don't like the smell of rotting fish.
Yeah. But other than that,
doesn't mean I don't like what in the. How do you go from here to here? I don't get it.
Do you do anything on Put-N-Bay?
I have a little bit, not a whole lot, because that's more of the party area.
That's true.
Kelly's Island is gorgeous. Love Kelly's Island.
Never been to Kelly's. Actually, Put-N-Bay's the only place I've been. For those of you who don't know, who don't live in Ohio, Ohio is a little unique.
We have a North Coast.
Yes, we are at the very top of the country. There's a huge lake above us. Everyone knows that. Most people know that.
There's actually huge lakes on all of straight up to the right, to the left. There's Lake Michigan.
And we share half of that lake with Canada.
Yes.
And the lake is big enough. It has islands. And there's 3 islands, north, south, north, middle, and Bath. And then there's Kelly's Island. And Put-N-Bay is on the middle island, and it is kind of a party spot.
Yeah.
And it is worth it. So you do have kind of the island, like half-ass. I call it half-ass island life.
Well, the other thing, too, though, is from what I've seen the last 6, 8, 10 years, the party crowd has gotten really ugly at Put-N-Bay. As in just like...
shitheads?
Yeah, and like fights and arguments and just...
It always happens.
Well, it's like we have friends
Detroit,
that
Chicago,
go there all the time.
They're kind of... But they go during the week or they don't go on the weekends because they say it's an absolute shit show.
Oh, that sucks. I hate that.
I watched a video of a big fight that happened between 2 groups of people up there, and the one girl literally whipped out her tampon and threw it at another chick. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going there.
Yeah, flying tampons.
That pretty much ended it for me. That's mark that one off the list.
I could just imagine.
And it wasn't like that. It was whoosh, and then people started swinging. But yeah, I'm sorry. That's a little.
But yes,
ridiculous.
Kelly's Island is more of a nature. There's a lake on the island.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
In a quarry area that you can go walk. You can find fossils in the quarry. There's a bog that you can go hike on. There's the alvars that'll over like big giant rocks along the edge of the water that you can look into the water and stuff. It's just absolutely gorgeous up there. I mean, yeah, there are some shops and some miniature golf and restaurants and all that stuff there too, but it's not near the party area.
Right. So leave the degenerates to. That sucks that Put-N-Bay like that because it never used to be like that.
But like I say, our friends that still go quite a bit say if you go like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday during the day, it's not bad. But I guess the weekends just get absolutely insane anymore. Because we've had
They ruined the flats, and now
three or
they're
four
after
different
Put-N-Bay.
people have told us that. And
Oh, I
actually,
believe
somebody
you.
told me that the flats actually isn't as bad as it used to be because people are getting pushed out.
Yeah.
Because people quit going, so it wasn't popular anymore, and now everybody has moved on to somewhere else.
See,
So the flats might be kind of coming back.
Now, back in the 90s, I went to the flats almost regularly with some friends of mine.
Right.
We'd get in a car, we'd drive up, and we had a routine. I'm not going to explain the flats because I don't have a good memory, and you can just Google it. Those of you who don't know anything about Ohio. But there was two sides. It was one side of the Cuyahoga and the other side of the Cuyahoga. One side of the Cuyahoga had like 18 and over, so there's always fights and stupid kids doing stupid things. The other side was 21.
Yeah.
And back then, which I hate to say this, but back then it was really nice. Now, I've heard stories of drugs and stuff like that, but I think you had to know where to go to look for it because I was there and I never saw it.
See, the one side, they had all the cool places. There was the Circus. There was all kinds of really cool places and things to do.
Yeah.
But then, like you say, if you went on the other side, it was a mess. And then when you were done there, if you had a couple bucks to catch a cab with all your friends, you could go down the warehouse district, and if you wanted to do some clubbing and stuff like that, you could do that. And it was, what, a 12-minute cab ride or something? It
Unfortunately, by that time, I was completely destroyed. I didn't drink well. The problem with me is I don't have. Some people when they drink, they slur their speech, they fall down, they pass out. Well, I don't. I am perfectly capable of continuing to drink, way into blood poisoning. So that's what I did back then. I didn't know the limits. I just kept going until someone else made me quit drinking. And I would get so destroyed that I wouldn't remember anything, and I'd wake up in places I've never been, or
That actually reminds me of a funny story I heard Bert Kreischer tell on one of his podcasts. He said he did a show in Florida, woke up just completely hungover as shit, not knowing where he is. I'm like, where the hell am I? How did I wake up here? Holy shit, I'm actually in a house. This isn't a hotel room. What's going on? Rolls over and his picture's next to the bed. And he starts tripping. He's like, who in the hell fucking snatched my drunk ass up and has me locked in their house? And he's freaking the fuck out, and he gets up and he runs out in the kitchen, and there's his dad cooking breakfast. His dad had bought a new house and he had never been there yet because he was on the road, and he got shit-faced drunk, and his dad took him home. He woke up thinking somebody snatched him up.
he got lucky. But anyways,
I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
But no, we had a routine. We would start. I think we started at Panini's because right next to Panini's was the warehouse.
Yep.
Remember, that was like 3 floors in that place, and then we
different
go
music on each floor.
Yeah, and then we go to the warehouse, and then we go, I think, down to Heaven. You know where they gave out the beads?
Yeah, and I don't know if that place was. Yeah, when we would go up there, most of the time we were going for like bachelor parties and stuff. And my buddies were getting married, so we were a little more on the ridiculous side.
Yeah, and then we'd go. We always get a gyro from that dude who sold gyros
On the little cart there.
Yeah,
Well, actually, it was a big
God,
ass
those were
cart.
good.
It was a big ass cart.
$5 gyros. God, I would destroy him. And then we go right back to the warehouse, and then we'd stay there until someone carried me out. And it was great. I remember one time I accidentally grabbed the wrong guy's beer. We're up there, and people are dancing, and there's a Heineken sitting there, and I already had a few. Few meaning like 7 shots of Jaeger and 2 beers. And I'm like, I've never had Heineken. So I reached out and drank it and put it down. And I look out in the dance floor, and there's a guy in the middle of the dance floor going. And I said, oops, sorry. And he goes, fuck it. And he goes back to dancing. Nowadays, you'd be in a fist fight in a second. That would be some kind of masculine blow against their, ego. And so, yeah. So I guess I'm glad that I'm old now because I don't want to hang out with those people anymore.
I'm not glad I'm old. It's been fucking with me.
I don't mind being old. I just wish my body wouldn't be such a mess.
There you go. Wish
Anyways.
I could remember stuff. I wish I didn't hurt when I tried to get off the toilet.
So we had a friend last night that his birthday was yesterday, and he was complaining that he turned 40.
I complained when I turned 40.
And we're like, shut the fuck up.
And then somebody else
I
was
just
like, well,
complained more when I turned 50.
I was going to say, somebody else said, I know, I just turned 45. I'm like, fuck you in the ass with a chainsaw. 45. Kiss my ass.
Like, what would you do to go back 10 years, 13 years? Fuck. Of course, my body was falling apart back then, too.
Oh, no, I was still, I mean, at least I honestly, whatever is going on, I think low testosterone, dude, my body and my brain have just went from here to, I can't even stand it. It makes me just nauseous.
All the stuff I want to do, and like, well, I had to take a nap yesterday. I went out to there and started working on that thing, came in just to cool off, and
That's just like when they're like, oh, age is just a number. It's all in your head. And it's like, okay, well, my head keeps saying, go do. And my body's going, no.
We'll do in an hour. We got to take a nap.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, just the brain fog is what really pisses me off. Like, we went yesterday and stopped 3 or 4 places to get stuff, and we forgot, 4 things? Are you kidding me?
Oh, welcome to my world. Unfortunately, I've been doing that since birth.
The one thing, we literally went from the Walmart of Masson 5 doors down to Lowe's to get, and walked out without it.
Looked at half a dozen other things,
Right,
but totally forgot why we went there.
Exactly.
We went specifically to get a 7 1/4 inch saw blade for the miter saw, and rolled out without it.
My.
And the plug for the bathtub.
And the plug for the we need to.
Well, you always need a plug for the bathtub.
Well, no, it leaks. You can't sit in it. And I had to see. I'm old now, so now at least 3 or 4 times a week I got to soak in a hot bathtub so I can friggin' walk.
Wow, must be nice to fit. I don't fit in my bathtub. I would literally have to be like sideways, like up against the wall.
Well, as long as you rotate every 30 minutes, you'll be
Exactly. When your front gets cold, you flip over with a snorkel.
Every 10 minutes, you fucking rotate it. You'll be fine.
I would love to get a bigger bathtub. Matter of fact, we were going to get one of those walk-in tubs.
The one you close the door?
Yeah, until we found out how much it costs.
Them things are absolutely... Aren't them things like $5,000-$6,000?
They can be. You can get one for about $12 to $13. However, it's not that easy. You have to make sure the floor can handle that much weight. And then they talk about you have to get a pump. Otherwise, it takes like 15 minutes to drain all the water. So you're just sitting there getting cold while the water's slow, because the pipe is this big around. It's about like 2 inches big around. And you've got 85 gallons of water in this thing. So they talk about a pump. And I said, instead of a pump, what if you put one of those little things that makes the water spin in the drain, and then you have your drain go down? Because ours goes down and straight 90-degree angle.
Yep.
And I thought maybe that would help. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, we just don't have the money for this.
Well, just buy a hot tub, stick it on the back, and be done with it.
I want to buy a hot tub, but I just know where to put it in the house. So I want to put a barn, like one of those big barns, right out here. But that takes
No. Which
ton of money.
Buy a gazebo, and then you just put like the nets around the gazebo, and then that'll actually hold the heat in the wintertime a little bit. So while you're inside there, nobody can see you. It's Yeah,
but still, you got to get a gazebo. You got to put a foundation. You got to put it up. Then you got to buy the hot tub.
Well, we were thinking about our buddy's thinking about getting a new one, and he said if he gets a new one, he'll give us his hot tub. But he's like, what he did is you go on Amazon, you buy these, like 4x4 things, and you lock them together and put them in the yard and make them level, and then you set your hot tub on top of it.
Well, Dinah and I were talking at one point, and those big barns, those big ones with like a porch and shit, they're only like $10,000. But the problem is they're pre-assembled, and we'd have to crane the thing over the house. There's no way to get it in the backyard.
I was going to say, I don't know if you could fit one between the houses here.
Yeah. So we'd have to have a crew build one, and now you're talking $20,000-$30,000. So it's just probably never going to happen. And another thing, we do have a sun porch, but the sun porch is like this. I mean, it really goes downhill, extreme.
Just make sure you always put your back to the hill.
Yeah, right. You only ought to fill it halfway, and your feet will be all right. Just one person at a time. Anyways, so we're hot tubless. I just wish we had a tub that I would fit in, because I also would like to soak every once in a while.
Well, they have that big giant garden tubs. My mom had one. But, I mean, those things are a pain in the rear end to get in and out of.
Yeah.
But they're huge.
I really would like a walk-in bathtub. I think that'd be great. Because they have jets and shit.
See, I wouldn't mind having a garden tub. Then we could, like, sit in it together. Like, we try and sit in her tub every once in a while together, and it just doesn't work.
Well, you can get one from Tractor, one of those big black...
No, they actually make what's called a garden tub that you put in your bathroom.
Oh. Anything like the Posty pump?
No.
Okay, good.
Let's see if we can find... Yeah, see? They make this. These are just little ones. My mom had a gigantic one in her house.
Do you, like, assemble it and disassemble it?
No, it's one big giant tub.
Oh.
Like, hers was in the corner, like it was a corner, and it came out and made a big square. Like that, right there. That's what hers was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
See how big those are?
I don't know if her bathroom would hold that. You'd have to put your feet in the tub while taking
Hers
a crap.
was in a modular home and it held it, so... But they call them garden tubs because a lot of people put them out. Like, see, like that big, gigantic one right there. But, yeah, you can fit 2 people in. Hell, you can fit 3 people in that one, but that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
So one thing we should do, we were talking about going to Put-N-Bay. We should try to figure out a way to come up with a plan to put some time aside to think about so we can actually want to execute in a manner that suggests that we could actually possibly do an event if we wished. Go to a place called the Blue Hole. You ever heard of
that was a lot to get to a place called the Blue
Well,
Hole.
we never seem to get together ever except for this podcast. So I was leaving a lot of space for we'll think about it, but it will never happen.
The biggest issue with that is we've got things that we already do on the weekend,
Yes.
and that's the only time
You're booked
I
up
have
4 years in advance.
Listen, I'm sorry. We're social people, and we know a couple thousand folks.
And God forbid, you know what? We're going to go ahead and pass on the ass glazing this weekend because a couple of friends of ours want to go to a Blue Hole. Anyways, so I'm just saying, there's a guy in Millersburg that has a really popular Instagram channel, and I talked to him about going to the Blue Hole. And, of course,
What is the Blue Hole?
Yes, mere weeks later, we completely fell apart, and just one medical issue after another. So that was like a year and a half ago. So it never happened, and I keep wanting to get something my dad told me about when I was a kid. I know that sounds really gross, but it really is a real thing. It's a thing in nature. He told me about it years ago. We were going to go when I was a kid, and I just never forgot it. And then I looked it up, and then it used to be a public park. Now it's not a public park, and now it's owned by a private company. And then I found out a few years back that you can call this company, and you can go see it. And I guess it is just a hole in the earth. It's just a big fucking hole, not like a lake-size hole. Well, more like a pond-size hole.
Okay.
And it goes straight down, and something to do with the water is crystal clear with a blue tint. Like it's crystal clear. Like
This is in Millersburg?
No, it's northwest of here, but not super west. I would say straight up from Mansfield, maybe. If you type
So an hour?
If you type in Ohio Blue Hole, it comes up.
So how long does it take to get there from here? An hour?
Maybe.
Might be a nice ride someday.
Right. Someday, 6-7 years
It's
from
in
now.
Castalia in Erie County.
There you go. Does it have a picture? Most of the pictures are drawings from the 60s because that's when it was a public park.
But yeah, no, like, listen, we could do stuff that your thing is you always want to do things on Saturday or Saturday evening. And like you say, we are social people, and we usually have events and things that we do that are planned out probably a month to 6 weeks. But that's just because, like, our social circle, everybody does things, everybody wants to have fun. You know what I mean? So everybody schedules their stuff, and they get together, and they try not to step on each other's toes, so things get scheduled out for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes a picture, maybe.
Oh, I could have brought it up. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Oh,
hey, watch out.
oh
Easy,
my
easy.
gosh.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we can see that.
Anyways, it was
Zoom
a nice,
on in there,
it was a
people.
nice thought. But now it's owned by a company, so you have to kind of call the company and and talk to them, and they'll schedule time. You can go see it because I think there's a couple of them. There's like 2 or 3 of them right there. Kind of a wonder of nature. Yeah, it's just something. And cool. Like you said, it'd be a nice ride.
It's advertised as a freshwater pond in Ohio.
Well, it's a little
I
more.
didn't realize there was any saltwater ponds in Ohio.
There is if you put salt in them.
I was going to say, you have to make them.
I can't spell.
Well, we already knew that. There you go.
Interesting.
Blue hole.
She went to, yeah. Oh, wait, it's way up there. Oh, it's almost on the lake. I didn't know that.
That's why it would be in Erie County, sir.
Oh, well, I never know.
Erie County is by Lake Erie, believe it or not.
I don't know the counties.
I know it's hard to believe that they would name a county after the lake that it touches, but that's how it happened.
Eat my shorts. All right, now try this again. Fill some flour. Oh, so you guys went up. Okay, so yeah, allow us to bookend this conversation.
Yeah, so we went to the beach and smelled the dead fish.
I love it. And then what? That's all you did? Just stood out there?
Well, we walked around the beach a little bit. She picked up some seashells and she stuck her feet in the water.
Any gardener snakes? I watched a thing of Dirty Jobs, and he was up on Lake Erie collecting gardener snakes for some.
There were some.
Were they gardener snakes or were they water snakes?
She said gardener snakes.
Because I know when we used to go to Kelly's Island, like right at the beginning of once it started getting warmer, they would start finding all the different water snakes bundled up inside boats that were staying on the water and stuff like that.
But yeah, I see. Nice, cool. But no, we did that, and then.
How crystal clear it is. Anyways,
yeah.
I just wanted to go up there. Like you said, I thought it would be a nice ride.
Yeah, it might be a nice ride. And then she wanted to go to the winery, and then she's like, "Do you drink wine?" And I'm like, "No, but I can have a beer." She's like, "Forget it, we won't go."
You won't have a glass of wine?
I don't care for wine.
I mean, I understand. I'm not asking you to drink a whole bottle, but you could taste it and be like, that tastes like ass.
And
or,
that's,
They have wine slushies there, too. I mean, who doesn't like wine slushies?
Oh, my gosh.
Mark, you want to go to the winery?
Sure. These two can sit there and hate the fish smell, and we'll go get trashed.
Listen, and I don't. She's like, it didn't smell bad. Dude, listen, have you ever walked into the fish market and up and you go to that's what it freaking smelled like.
That's what any pond smells like. That's what Berlin smells like.
It wasn't at the level of the fish market, but by God, it was there. And she's taking a guy that's allergic to fucking fish to the beach where it stinks like fish.
You're allergic to shellfish.
I'm allergic to
I was
fish.
not getting shrimp out of the water and
Easy,
shoving it
easy,
down your
easy.
throat.
Good Lord.
Dear, are you going to chime in here? I will say this. She doesn't like gray water, so we're not allowed to go to like Myrtle Beach or anything like that.
I was just enjoying the show.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I did not comment because, yes, if I'm going to go to the water, it's got to be blue water. The gray water does not excite me at all. To go to Lake Erie and see it, I don't care.
To see it, no. To see it, no.
Well, no. And,
but you
I
see
don't
what's
wanna go
along the
in
river.
it.
Yeah.
Because you can't see what's in it.
Exactly. We're talking about a place that had a lake that caught on fucking fire.
No, that was the river.
Well, listen, where's the river at? 18 feet from the fucking lake.
Right, but still, it was the river that caught on
That's what
fire.
I said. I like other areas of Lake Erie a lot better than Edgewood or anywhere in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to ask you to drive another hour to another lake.
I would have. Fuck him. Anyways.
No, thank you.
Marblehead?
Sir?
You been to Marblehead? Yeah, we went there one time.
Love Marblehead. When me and my kids used to camp on Kelly's Island, we would stop there before we went to the ferry to ride it across to go camping.
Yeah. That was fun. I mean, we didn't hang out long because we were on a bike, but
Right. That was fine.
Yeah.
But to go in Lake Erie or go in Myrtle Beach was okay for once. Except it was the Myrtle trip.
oh well,
But-
we won't go into that. But no, I understand just to go to like the beach and just
No,
I
that's
can
what you do in the Bahamas.
yeah,
in the
I
blue
understand
water.
that. But like when you say go to the beach, I'll be damned if I'm going to undress this body, but I'll go to because there's all shit all along it,
Well, you were supposed to be dieting. We were supposed to go for our 10-year anniversary.
Dear, I have been quote unquote dieting for the last 5 years, trying to find a diet that works with this piece of
Well,
shit.
now all the
He's-
resorts. That's why they're killing all the Americans.
Huh?
Because they're all fat and ugly.
Oh, I can't help it. I'm trying. I mean, I gained 40 pounds after surgery. Went up to 320. I'm down to 300. So I've managed to get 20 pounds. But I cannot shake off that last 20 pounds. And my foot's a wreck. My back's a wreck. So, doing exercises is not easy. So I'm working on it. It's just a slow process.
So you're saying I never get to see blue water again?
We can go.
You're just
You
not
can
going to get to see him naked.
Well, I didn't really
at the
go
blue
in the
water.
water because I don't like to get stung by jellyfishes and
Then
stuff
what are
like
we
that.
waiting on?
And he's not taking his clothes off, so he's not going to pee on it if you get stung by a jellyfish. You're just going to have to deal with the pain
Yeah,
because he won't get naked.
it's different.
Not naked.
It's different.
Not unless the lights are off.
Well, you're not turning
What
the
are we
sun off,
waiting
so I
for?
guess
Well-
she's shit out of luck if
Right.
she gets stung by a jellyfish.
So, yeah.
We're probably waiting for somebody to get vacation time at work.
That's
Because
because
next vacation is
I
Vegas.
keep switching jobs. I could make it a permanent vacation. I can do DoorDash.
No, jeez. Then we'll never go on vacation because we don't have any money.
Yeah.
Next vacation goes to Vegas anyway.
Vegas, fun times.
We were talking about getting me. I can't wear rings. I can wear rings, but only for a few hours.
Okay.
My hands swell, and then like my wrists swell if I wear a wrist watch. So
Wrist what?
wrist rot. You know what I mean?
So he can't wear his nice gold diamond.
I can wear
Watch.
it. I can wear it. I can only wear it for about 4 or 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can wear it longer because the good thing about the watch is it unbuckles and then it gets huge. So I can wear the watch. The ring, on the other hand, if I let it go for like 9 hours or so, then it gets uncomfortable and I can't get it off.
So is it the metal?
I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. It's been like that my whole life.
You can buy silicone bands, like wedding bands. Like a lot of people wear them for like work, so if
Yeah.
it gets caught in something, it just rips the silicone. You don't rip your finger off.
Well, when
Try
I
one of
was
those.
when I was a young kid, I had an Ironman, and those have that plastic wrist, and my wrist still swelled.
Oh, well, that's not it.
So yeah, but anyways, I'm just used to it. It's been like that my whole life. But
Now, I will say I'm kind of the same way. Like, my chain, obviously, is gold, so it doesn't bother me. But if I wear, like, silver or something, I don't swell up, but I get big red rings around my neck.
Yeah.
So I have to have, I don't know what it is. And I'm not particularly allergic to silver because I have stuff that's silver that don't bother me, but if I wear it constantly, it bothers me.
yeah,
But gold doesn't.
so I come up with the idea. I don't like tattoos, and I can explain that story, but who cares? But I told the wife, so why don't I get a ring tattoo?
Yeah.
Have your name on it, stuff like that. So we kind of been
Well, we don't have to go to Vegas for that. We're going to
Right.
Vegas for my tattoo.
right, but we still need to find someone who does extremely small, intricate work and does it well, because nothing sucks more than a botched tattoo.
Talk to Courtney. I don't know if she does anything that intricate or not, but she probably knows somebody that will.
Well, we haven't really looked into it yet. We're going to. That might be a winter thing. Right now it's all about the bikes, and it'll be Halloween, and then it'll be Christmas, and then maybe after that we can.
Or be the zombie walk, and
Yeah.
then we got to have the
'cause,
parade.
nobody gets tattoos except in the winter.
No, I'm just saying, we have other things to do right now.
Yes.
We've been married for 14 years. You can wait a few more months for me to get a tattoo.
I don't think so. Look at that look.
I know, right?
I think
She's like,
what she's saying.
Anyways,
Do it now.
I've
In
been waiting
fact,
for years to go to Vegas to get mine.
what she's saying is, when we're done with this podcast, don't even break that crap down. Get your ass in the van. We're going now.
anybody interested in buying a 2017 Lincoln Continental? It's got 20,000 miles on it. She drives it, and it's great. But we don't need the $600 a month car payment because she wants to go to Vegas. So, anyone's interested,
So
hit us up.
I have a question. Who wants to buy that expensive of a boat anchor?
I love that car, dude.
It's still a Ford, though. It's a boat anchor.
Damn right.
Oh, don't start. That could be a whole nother.
Are you a big Ford girl?
My daddy worked at Ford's.
That's
I
fun.
know.
At Ford's, it's just Ford. There's no S on
Ford.
the end.
Moving on.
Don't you know women or Ohioans always add S to everything?
High ends?
Yes. Like all D's.
Chevy
I
used
think
to
it is
Chevy
Aldi,
used to make
so
a good
if
car.
You Google it.
Nope, it's all the.
GM used to make a
Oh.
good car, and then 2008 came around, and everything after 2008 became budget Walmart shit.
Well, everything's like that now. But Ford, just listen. I've never had any luck with any Ford I've ever owned,
And that's fine.
so I can't stand
The
them.
only thing I don't like about Ford is they tend to they come up with a car, and they put all these stuff in it, and then they say, okay, sell it, and then whatever breaks, we'll just put recalls on it. So instead of testing shit before they unleash it on the public, they do that.
Yes.
And I hate that.
Well,
but if you buy the model here when it comes out, you're doomed to have a junk car. If you give it a few years, they tend to iron it out.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You want to buy one that's like 2 or 3 years in. But yeah. So, do you know what Ford stands for?
Oh, God. I don't even care. There's so many of them.
There's some really good ones.
Yeah, I don't care. The only reason there's not one of those for Chevy is because all the
too many
stupid
letters.
people, can't come up with something with that many letters.
Well, see, that's it. All the stupid people can't do it because they all drive Fords. They're stupid. They can't come up with
Nobody drives a Ford and then comes up with some dumb saying about the vehicle.
But no, anyway, I'm just
I
saying.
do know that Chevy's still playing catch up no matter how much you love
Well,
them.
and the biggest problem you're going to have right now, and I don't know if anybody pays attention to anything with the car markets, but they're all in deep shit right now.
Oh, yeah.
But Ford is actually a little further in the box because they have put so much of the resources, into their EV stuff.
Yeah, and then they're bailing
And
on them.
it has went completely freaking sideways, and they are in a bad place.
I also think switching to all SUVs was a dumb move, too.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I know the EV thing really put a kibosh on Ford in their finances.
Well,
At least their profit margin. I don't know about their total.
I don't own the
finances,
company,
but I
so
don't
if
either.
they end up fucking themselves, it's not my problem.
You know,
I just know that I absolutely adore my Lincoln MKZ, 2010. Runs like a champ, fast as hell, comfortable, and I loved my '98 Continental until Ohio killed it.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I've always been a Cadillac guy.
Caddies are good, but
Her
the
husband
problem
was
with
a Cadillac
caddies,
guy.
caddies are actually more extreme than Ford.
They're more expensive to fix. I can tell you that.
Not only that, but they put all this brand new technology in those things, and they don't work out the bugs. So
Well,
you're constantly fixing them.
No, they're not as bad as Lincoln on that. I mean, I don't know.
I'm bleeding.
He's vampiring it up.
Yeah. And I disagree. There's only been a couple of models of Lincolns that have had issues.
Well, I'm not saying Lincoln. I'm just saying Ford and Joe. But I mean, I don't know.
Like
the Cadillacs I've had, I had very, very little issues with it.
Yeah, the reintroduction of the Continental was not well done. It broke a lot.
Yeah.
And it's still, some of them are still on the road, and they're still plagued with problems. But I think a couple of years, because they only made it for 3 years, I think if you get the latest year, they've got it all ironed it out. But still, no, I mean, I can't disagree, because...
See, I had a CTS, loved it. No,
and I also
DTS,
agree. I also say people talk about how bad the F-150s are. The problem with F-150s, if you leave it the frick alone, it'll give you 400,000 miles.
Yeah,
but if
the
you
problem
start
is
doing
nobody
shit
buys
to it,
F-150s but douchebags.
I know. And then they get in there and they start putting aftermarket parts in it, and then the thing starts breaking.
We discussed this when we were talking about people that drive like retards. Yeah. Why is it every asshole in a pickup truck on the road, 90% of them are driving an F-150?
I don't know. F-150s and Rams seem to be the worst.
Right, and I mean, people in Rams are too, but I don't think there are nearly as many douche canoes in a Dodge Ram as there are in F-150s. I really think they market them towards dickheads.
And I think, well, F-150 is the most popular truck brand. So maybe there's just a ton of them on the road.
That's almost over. That is going down quick. That's another thing that people, if they don't pay attention, that's falling quick. Those numbers are plummeting for the number one pickup truck.
Yeah.
Dodge is slowly catching them.
Oh, the Fiat?
I just said Dodge, not Fiat.
Yeah. Who owns Dodge? Fiat.
Chrysler.
No, Fiat. Chrysler's owned by Fiat.
Well, listen.
That's why I make fun of Jeep owners. It's like, all right, it's cool that you like your car, but be honest, it's a Fiat.
I don't know. I like her Fiat. Then.
Ow, my toe hurts. All right. So anyway, so you guys went to Cleveland.
Yep.
We ended up getting in a car and taking a road trip to almost Columbus, going to one of our places we usually ride to, called Iron Pony.
Okay.
Now, there is an Iron Pony closer, but it's much, much, much smaller. It's a very tiny little dealership. This place is huge. They've got bikes, gear, accessories.
See, that's bad because I would have walked out with a big, gigantic bill on a motorcycle.
Yeah, we did. We walked out with almost $200 worth of shit.
No. I would have
Oh,
walked
over
out with
$200.
a new motorcycle and
Oh.
a big giant bill to pay every month.
Yeah.
So
And they had a Kawasaki Ventura there. I was showing her the dashboard in real time, real life.
yeah. And she was like,
No,
Yeah.
she was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So she just left.
I gotta pee.
She did. And she scurried off. Of course, I'll admit that the second we walked through the door, I had to scurry to the bathroom.
I mean, it is what, about a 2-hour drive to get there?
Yeah.
You probably have to pee after a 2-hour drive.
Yeah. We had to stop along the way, but we had the Continental, so we were comfortable.
Continental.
Floating down there in our Continental. Our Lincoln Continental.
Listen, bougie.
You know you want a Lincoln Continental.
No.
Everybody wants a Lincoln Continental.
Oh, man. Did you ever hear about the Chinese guy that went to optometrist?
No.
He's like, I got a cataract. He's like, no, man, I drive a Lincoln Continental.
Wait, how's it?
Okay, Marty McFly's dad.
Oh, right.
Wait, his name was Marty too, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Marty Sr.
So, we've been babbling on about our weekend excursions. What's going on next weekend? Do we have anything next weekend?
Same question. What are we doing next weekend? Oh,
Next weekend's Labor Day.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So we've got the thing on Friday, which we probably shouldn't talk about because we don't want to make people, uncomfortable. And then Saturday we have a party. And then Sunday, what are we doing?
I'll have to work Sunday, but I'll be off Monday. I'll probably
So
work
Sunday
days.
I'll be riding my motorcycle all day if it's not raining.
You wanted me. What day? You said Monday was ours. And Sundays, we're going to have to pick a different day than Sunday because we got to go to a.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
family
either
thing,
Saturday
so-
or Tuesday.
Say Saturday ain't gonna work because we'll be out of town. Well, somewhat out of town for a party all day. Friday night I have to do a demo.
Well, Friday night you'll be at work, won't you?
Nope, I had to take PTO to do a demo.
I don't know what a demo is.
Demonstration.
Oh. So we're talking Tupperware with a couple X's after it.
We're breaking out the toolboxes and doing a demonstration for some folks, kids.
Here's
Stop
a different
on by.
type of storage.
So you may have to.
Then he wheels one in. This is a bigger model.
Listen, man.
And I bored out the carbs on this, so this thing will hit 6,000 RPM.
Listen, you have your little hobbies, we have ours. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. What was it a couple weeks ago you said that my motorcycle will never go how fast? I told you that it said online it would top out at 136. And you're like, ain't no way you'll even get that thing to hit 90 or 95. It'll go 112. I found out the other day when I was really angry riding to work.
You went 112
Oh, yeah.
on a C50.
Yup. Right down 236, ripping through Lawrence Township like an idiot.
God, it must have been screaming.
It didn't say I liked it. I just said it.
Wow.
But it was smooth as shit at 112. I thought it was going to get all shaky, and nope, she was flat and smooth as a... Nice. It was great. Apparently the dog farted on your wife.
Well, it sounded like she farted. She's over there like playing with the microphone.
I was trying to shut it off so I could, but I couldn't.
Literally farted right on her. Look at how close the dog is to her.
I know. He probably
My
like
baby.
tickled her side with the little...
No, it
She
was,
has to go change her shirt.
Yeah.
there was no noise, no nothing. It just
Just some backsplash.
no, and I
Just a little
couldn't find
backsplash. Like, did you watch Bad Grandpa where Johnny Knoxville dresses up like the old dude? He's in the restaurant and he farts and he has that thing that shoots the pudding all over the wall.
No, I must have missed that one.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
They were funny back in the day.
They're still funny. Knoxville's a lunatic.
Yeah, yes he is. Did you see that movie he made about that park when he was a kid? The park was like dangerous as shit.
I'll have to
Yeah,
check that one
where
out.
he grew up, there was like an amusement park that they didn't care about safety at all.
Oh, I'll have
And
to
he
look
made
that
a
one.
movie about it, and people were coming out of the woodwork saying, "I remember that place. Yeah, my friend got hurt, or this kid
Yeah.
died," and it was like terrible. And of course, he made comedies,
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen the one where he does the? It's called The Ringer, where he fakes his way into the Special Olympics.
No. Oh, yes, I did. I saw.
And I'm like, I tell everybody this movie is so funny. Like, oh, that's disgusting. I never. And I'm like, just watch it. It is not disgusting. It is absolutely hilarious. With the people that were like the actual people that are in the Special Olympics that did the movie with him, they're all still friends. They all still hang out with him. They do things all the time. It's insane. Like he's like, these are some of the greatest people I ever met, and he still hangs out with all of them.
I know that one scene. We stopped to get ice cream.
He goes,
we got ice cream?
He's like, yeah, she's like, where the heck did you guys? Oh, I took everybody to get ice cream. When the fuck did we get ice cream? Was I sleeping?
Anyways.
Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And all you
What the
haters
hell
out
were
there,
we talking about? that
all
led
you
to that?
Karens out there, they're going to freak out because we're like a movie about the Special Olympics. You watch it before you lose your mind.
Well, I just say I like movies. I don't give a shit what it's about. If you don't like it, too bad.
But, did I tell you about the Karen that went off on me the other day?
No.
Alliance Police Department put up a post that they found a set of keys in a crime scene. They took a picture of the key rings, and it said, if you work at yada yada, because there was a badge, and you're the world's greatest dad, come get your keys. We found them at yada yada crime scene or whatever. So I comment, how can you be the world's greatest dad when you haul your kids around in a Ford? Because there's a big Ford key. Dude, the Karens came out of the woodwork talking about, that's disgusting. People can be the world's greatest dad and drive anything. And I'm like, holy Jesus. Do I really have to explain this as a fucking joke?
So you're just like the guy that I got in an argument on Instagram.
So apparently, you can't make a joke.
Yes, poorly constructed jokes.
Shame on me.
Youpers, what are you doing?
Looking at you?
You're a goofy poopy. Anyways.
Uh-oh.
Hey, quit trying to get access.
It's the little squishmallow hanging there. She's moving.
Gosh, those dogs utilize those steps.
Dude, they like that little squishmallow. They want one.
So anyways, at one point we were talking about going to check out somebody's blue hole.
Somebody's blue hole, yeah.
So
We're talking about Labor Day.
And they were.
Then that was after the blue hole.
Right.
It kind of spiraled
Well, you asked
into.
what we were talking about.
I don't know.
spiraled
We were
into.
talking about Labor Day.
We're going to have to figure out a time to make
Yeah,
another Gripe episode.
yeah, we can do that. We'll figure it out.
Well, we've skipped weeks before.
Well, yeah, we have. Okay, whoever just snoozed with me, take it easy.
Pubic.
I got snoozed right in the old calf.
Well, you could have been snoozled in worse places.
I could have, but it still made me jump because I didn't even see the dog come over there. That's the part that sucks about your dog snoozling you under the table. You can't see him when they come, and all of a sudden, all you just feel is a wet thing go across your leg, and you're like, "What the hell was that?"
Who said that's a dog?
Exactly. That's the
Anyway.
that's the fear, sir.
Yes. Did we have snakes?
Snakes wouldn't bother me. I don't mind snakes. Don't bother me.
Oh, yeah.
Did you drive to Cleveland?
Yes.
Ah.
We did. Remember the rain thing?
Yeah, but you can ride around in rain.
So
You know, go over to Toledo and then.
Yeah, and it must have really came down because our pool was up a couple inches.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
yeah, like the nice.
Anyways.
Yeah, it came up. I would say at least 2.5, 3 inches. Like you keep it like halfway up where the water
That
goes.
sounds
into the
familiar.
Hey, but no, you keep your water about halfway up where the water goes in the skimmer. It's like this far from covering the skimmer up. I'm like, holy shit! It must have really rained.
I hate it when it starts to cover the simmer.
Hey, the skimmer. I hate when it covers the hole.
The blue hole?
Yeah, or whatever hole. Holes in general.
We need to ride to our hole.
Mine's not very far away.
Where's your hole?
Right there.
Oh, jeez. Past tense.
No, listen. You guys act like that's a terrible thing. I think it's a great thing that me and my
It
girlfriend
is.
have a healthy sex life. Excuse me. I drive your wife crazy when I talk about this. I'm sorry. We're not vanilla people. Leave us alone.
Did you say vanilla people?
Upstairs.
What does that even mean? Huh?
Oh, I said my kid's upstairs.
No,
That's
she's
right.
up upstairs.
No, she's in the
No,
kitchen
she just went
upstairs.
up upstairs. I watched her.
She came back down.
Oh, I missed that part. So now your kid knows I'm not vanilla.
Oh, and the woman is right.
There she is. Hi, kid. They call it a kid, and she's what?
30.
My kid, like, there's a 5-year-old wandering around up there.
No. She's an adult,
She's old enough to have her own damn kids. She's not a kid.
which will be mini kids.
She
Yes.
gets jealous when I call the dog's my babies. I can tell.
Well, she hasn't had any babies of her own to give to you, so I guess she's going to have to
that's
deal with it.
fine. That's fine. She makes a very good dog sitter.
That's right. Very appreciated. Appreciated.
Appreciate it.
Depreciated?
Thank you.
Okay.
Depreciated.
She's a very depreciated dog.
All right,
she
to
would
Mark's
say that.
daughter, if you actually watch this, he's not being an asshole. He just can't talk.
She knows. She knows
Or
way
spell.
better than anyone else. What?
Or spell.
Or spell.
Oh, yeah, I can't- no.
Everybody knows he can't spell. I can't.
I can't spell.
I can't spell either.
Half of the time when I go to put a comment on Instagram, I have to stop and type it into Google so it can spell it for me, and then copy and paste it.
That's right. I told her something the other day, and I can't remember what word I was supposed to say, and it got changed to comment instead of.
You said commit. It was supposed to be committed.
Yes, and it changed it to comment with the autocorrect.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
well, where did you comment this at?
And I'm like, what the hell
all
are you
right, Nazi
talking
police.
about? And then she's like, and I'm like, okay, grammar Nazi.
I hate that when it spells a word for me and I don't know that word, so I just assume it's correct.
Yeah.
Like
or
what-
when you type in a word and it changes it completely to something totally different.
And you don't catch it?
How did that happen?
Years ago, I tried to type the word porcelain. Came up porcine or porcelain. I think,
Yeah.
the pig. I didn't know what porcelain was. I thought it was porcelain. My mom called me and said, "What in the hell did you put on there? That's pig. You just spelled pig." I'm like,
What?
So I learned a new word and got embarrassed all at the same time.
And got chewed out by his mom.
Yeah, well, she acts like, you're supposed to be better, but she knows damn well.
So, I don't know.
I just get jealous because my dad's exactly like me, or actually I'm just like him, but he's better at spelling than I am. He still can't spell, but he's better than me. So it's
there
just
you
like
go.
it's like within reach, but I just can't get there.
So there you go. All of the new listeners, if you go to our website and something's misspelled, just freaking deal with it. 'Cause
No, tell me. Tell
Just
me and
deal
I'll
with
fix it.
just put a ha ha ha, you're right, you
Just-
can't spell underneath the
all
comment
I
and
ask-
move on about your day.
All I ask is you understand. I will fix it, but understand you may have to do some spell checking for me.
Like I said, just like ha ha ha, you're right, you can't spell, and just it's over. Who cares?
I'm that worm that wouldn't get on the hook. You just spin it and it just won't jab. It's hooked on phonics. I just can't get hooked. Just spin me around the hook.
I'm gonna let that one go. Your wife's like, please do, please do. I think I drive your wife nuts sometimes. I'm sorry, Mark.
Oh, I know you do. I just hope that when she decides to throw something at you, I'm quick enough to get out of the way.
What you gonna
So
do?
just
That
take
empty
us
bottle?
both out. Because her aim is not awesome. Thank God. If her aim was awesome, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be in a casket with an egg-sized hole through my head.
How do you know my aim is not?
Maybe
on
she's just
purpose?
trying to
Because
warn
I've seen
you.
the shocked face when it was like a foot from me, and you went, oh!
So when she threw something at you when you were in the kitchen and it went through the TV.
No, it was right there. I was there, she was there, and I said, pass me something. So she, fucking, I don't know, Chris Perez this thing at me. It's the only picture I can think of. Huh? No. Yeah. And I mean, I saw, like shock waves coming off this thing as it cut through the air.
And it went.
Yeah. Yeah, that says it all. That says I'm not lying. It's a good thing I've learned how to silently pray. Because I was like, thank you for another day, because I almost got taken out. And after that, I'm like, throw it over here. And then it still comes right at my face.
Say, so now you've
Well,
learned to say,
might
will you
wanna
please hand me
explain
that?
What you got almost taken
I don't want to
out
get
with.
up. Huh?
What was I throwing at you?
Saw blades?
And I
Razors?
think it was an Easter, like a chocolate peanut butter egg. The damn thing went through re-entry on just those few feet. I practically had to let it sit to re-harden.
Threw it through a peanut butter cup at Mark, knocked
Yeah.
out the dog.
Golf balls are jealous. But anyways, so yeah.
It's a good thing she knocked out the dog with the peanut butter egg or would have ate it.
Well,
And that's not good
the
for
dog-
dogs.
There's a reason why the dogs are always buried under the blankets. As soon as she
hiding.
picks something up, down they go. You can,
Help, help,
you can
help.
hear in doggy language, it's armed, it's armed. Red alert. Red alert. Arr. That's why Sully farts so much. He literally gets his shit scared out of him.
Well, that's his rocket power to get the fuck out of the way.
Go, Gadget Turbo. Never works, though. Just doesn't have that thrust.
Listen, at least he's trying. At least he's trying.
Right. He works on it. Mm-hmm. Anyways. So.
Just like this one here, who never takes up the whole bed, but when we wake up, I'm on the edge of the bed like this with an arm hanging off. She's hanging on to me, and there's 8 foot of bed empty, but she never leaves her
You
side.
keep
of the
trying to
bed.
get away, so I have to keep following you.
But she claims she never leaves her side of the bed.
Yeah, well. Try sleeping with 2 dogs.
We have one that actually joins us every once in a while. That's enough.
Yeah.
It's
My
about
wife
10
and I
times
both
the size of
sleep
your
on
dog,
the
but-
edge of the bed.
Well, our dog would make 10 of their dogs.
At least.
Yeah. But that's my point. We have 2 tiny little dogs, and they get 3.5 foot of the bed in the middle. And Dinah and I, if we so much as open our eyes the wrong way, it's right on the floor.
Well,
But she complains, I'm on the edge of the bed. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm on the edge on the other side. Meanwhile, the dogs are sleeping lengthwise.
all sprawled. Yep, Poppy gets on the bed and will push her way in between my legs and lay me. Now I'm like, I can't roll over.
Yep.
I can't do shit. I
Yep.
can't move. Period.
You have to learn how to roll over in the exact same space. So you have to
No, I can't because she's between my legs on top of the covers. So if I roll over, I would tie her in there. Which ain't going to happen because she would lose her shit as soon as you throw the blanket over her head.
Now, I will say this. Some nights when you roll over, because normally I sleep towards the wall, and she sleeps towards the wall, so we're away from each other. And if I
So you
spin
guys touch
over...
butts?
Huh?
You guys touch butts?
No, we'll crush a dog. So then if I roll over and open my eyes, there's a nose within an inch because he's a missile, and he's looking right at me.
Now, our dog
And
will
his
do
little
that.
tail starts wagging
As
on
soon-
Dinah's face.
Now, that'll happen whenever we're in bed and she gets up to go to the bathroom. She'll come back and the dog will be
Yep. Just waiting for that opportunity to lick. Dogs are great. They're so goofy.
I said the other day, the dog was in the morning. The dog was up there just having a good old time playing with me, until she opened the refrigerator, and then it was like somebody shot the dog in the ass with a pellet gun. That's how fast it went down the friggin' steps.
Yep.
Thinking it's gonna miss a meal.
Well, Sully this morning woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is my usual time to get up for work. So I'm like, fuck it. Get up, let him out. They pee. We go back to bed. He's trying to get into the daughter's room. So he could sit at the base of her bed because there's no ramp to get into her bed. So he sits there until she gets up and puts him in bed so he can lay down for 30 seconds and get up and want back out.
Down.
Yeah, to come sleep with us.
See, their dog, we gotta do that too, but it'll sit at the bottom of the steps and whine until you're like, get your ass up here. And then it'll come running up. Then it'll stand at the foot of the bed. Until you're like, come on. And then it'll jump up on the bed. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And then, like you said, it'll lay down for 35 seconds until it hears something and back down and down to the basement or to the living room.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
My mom always says dogs are strange people. Yes, they are. They're strange little people.
Yeah.
They're just furry little people, and
Squirrel.
they're just strange. They're strange furry little people.
Exactly.
All right.
Anyway,
So what else are we gonna talk about?
I don't know. What else are we going to talk about?
Talk about
Every time I bring up a topic, your wife gets offended.
yeah. She gets a little puckered. Like, oh shit. We're gonna talk about the pasty pump again.
The pasta vac.
Oh, pasta vac. Why do I always get that wrong? Because I don't know what it is, I guess.
You were looking at pictures at it, freaking out.
Yeah. You know what really messed me up were the batteries. I thought those were like cartridges, like injection. They look like injection, like Ozempic, except I'm thinking, what in the fucking hell is that thing going to inject into people? And I was like losing it. I'm
That's
like, no.
That's
this
just
needs
what
to
runs
be-
the vacuum pump there,
This,
big guy.
like the FBI needs to raid this place. This is not okay. And then it turned out it was batteries, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Like I'm looking at this, going, "There's no what is that? What? No, is it?
Listen,
is that saline
someday-
solution or something?"
Someday, when your wife is out of the house, I'm going to send you a link to the egg thing the alien egg thing.
Oh, it just gets worse. The alien egg infect you, lupus thing.
Oh yeah.
The banned in 7 countries egg alien.
So listen, when I send this to you when she's not around,
impregnation.
You are going to videotape yourself watching and looking at this thing because it will be the best comedic thing that we will ever see in our lives. It was funny enough watching you look at the pasta vac.
I can't help it. There's, the human body can be damaged. That's all I'm going to say. There is a limit to everything.
Well, yeah. But
you can hurt things, and there's some things that have a lot of nerve endings.
And you hurt my sides while I was laughing at you.
My brother showed me a video back when the internet first started, talking early 90s, of this dude laying on his stomach, and he was on, it was a large pillow, so he was like a foot off the ground, and the pillow was right at his belly, and his balls were laying on the floor, and this woman stomping on his balls.
I don't get that fetish.
And my brother and I were both laughing, but we were so curled up in a ball that we couldn't stop the video. And it was just, and she'd stomp and he'd come off that pillow, and I'm like, why? Well, who would do this? Like, is this, I mean, maybe if he was tied down and you couldn't see the ropes, but that video is haunted. That's worse than 2 girls in a cup.
I never watched that video.
It's gross.
Everybody talked about how nasty it was. I'm like, okay, I'm not watching it then.
Yeah, it's gross. These 2 girls are sucking on poop.
Well, no, but I've heard that they found out years later that was all fake.
They showed the ass take the dump. If that was faked, it was the most perfect recreation of a turd I have ever seen. Because you watch, I don't know if it was a chick, all you saw was an ass. But someone grabbed their cheeks and you watched the turd fly out of the ass.
Fly out, not just come out.
No, it came out. It came out with, like, under protest. That thing came shooting out into this cup. And then they start playing with it. And so, like I said, if it was fake, someone needs to win an award because that was the most perfect recreation of that turd I have ever seen.
Apparently that is possible because if you talk to our friend Spencer, you know who Spencer is, he claims that you can go and find all these videos that prove the moon landing was faked.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
with the exception of the satellite photos that you can see on the internet that show the base of the thing they landed on.
And the flag that's still there.
Yeah. I mean, like, these are like recent photos and they're there.
But those are fake too, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Whatever. I mean, Candace Owens is a very smart person, but even she talks about this particular part of the atmosphere that is so dangerous that there's no way that man's creation can go through it, and whatever. She's like, I mean, sorry. I mean, there's some conspiracy theories that I can get behind, but I believe we actually did go to the moon.
I think that was probably a truthful thing that we went to the moon. But yeah, the flat earthers are the ones that get me.
Oh my gosh! You know what? No, they don't. They don't get me. They actually make perfect sense. They are saying shit that's so ridiculous because they think arguing is clever. Just arguing.
Well, that's true.
Not winning the argument, not having a point, just keeping the argument going. To them, I call those people gamers. That's what gamers do. They play games and they just argue with each other. They never have a point. You can never get anywhere because if you're arguing to kind of settle something, then you're wasting your time because they just want to continue arguing.
See, now, when I worked at the bar as a bouncer, I called those people roosters because they were roostering.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That works. But I call them gamers. Every time I see a gamer on Instagram, I'm always the jackass who doesn't pick up the fact that they're just arguing to argue. Yeah. And I'm desperately trying to make a point to someone who doesn't understand. They think that debating is clever.
Yeah, I'll send you some clips of some things on YouTube that I've been watching that are exactly the same thing. Like, people will be like, I had to believe da-da-da-da-da-da, and they'll be like, okay, prove that.
Yeah.
Where's your proof of that? Well, because of this. No, that's your opinion. Well, that's somebody else's opinion. Where's the proof? I want the proof to back up. And they're not getting mad. They're like, I just want the proof to back up what you're saying. And they don't come up with it. And it's like, okay, well, then I don't have an argument with you because you're not making any points. You're just arguing opinions.
Yeah. I remember this one time I got into an argument with a gamer. And afterwards, a couple of days of doing this back and forth, I got embarrassed because it took me way too long to realize he wasn't even like reading. He was just arguing.
Yeah, he just throwing
He
stuff out
tried to
there.
tell me that the Twin Towers, 9/11, were missiles. And I'm like, you're
I don't think they're
retarded.
missiles.
Not only is there a bunch of footage of people videotaping that, and you can clearly see it's a plane, and he says, no, that can be fixed. That can be fine. Where are the people? You have 3 planes that went down full of people.
Gone.
And they're gone. So are they all in on this? And he says, no, that never happened. Oh, really? So there's all these families that are missing a husband, a wife, and a son and all that, and they're all lying. Where are the people that were on the planes?
Right.
But he wasn't reading. He was just, you're so stupid. You need to educate yourself. Here's a video on YouTube. And
There's all sorts of conspiracy theories about like Sandy Hook and all that too.
Yeah.
That all
There's a
these-
lot of people
that all
think-
these people in these pictures are all actors
Yeah.
and actresses. It's
That's
like
what? Well, like the whole thing about like 9/11 and all that stuff. All that stuff happened, but
Yeah.
I think that all of that stuff was staged to a certain extent because, like the crashes and stuff, like especially at the Pentagon, the hole in the Pentagon, there's no place where wings hit anything. There's a fuselage laying there, but there's no wings from the plane. I don't understand how that accident took place, and parts are missing. There's no damage to the building where certain things would have hit the building. If it hit the building where it hit the building, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
well, you're forgetting how fast
Yeah,
and
but
heavy planes are.
I understand, but that's what
That's
I'm
just
saying. There would
aluminum.
be damage to the building of some sort, broken windows, something, where those wings would have been spread out, and there's nothing.
It looked like a pretty big hole to me.
It's a big asshole, yep, but there's no place where the wings would have been hanging out to the sides. But I don't know. Like I say, I'm not saying it didn't happen. There's just things that make me go, what in the hell? And the way the Twin Towers fell, I don't know. It looked like controlled demolition to me, not missiles. But it certainly looked like controlled demolition. I'm not saying the plane didn't hit it, but I'm saying when it went down, it certainly looked like a controlled demolition. Like if you watch them like actually blow up a building and they fall, that's exactly how that thing fell. And they spend weeks and weeks figuring out where to put explosives and the timing to do it to get buildings to fall like that. And it happened 2 times, one right after the other when they get hit by a plane. That's astronomical odds.
You lost me on that one.
So when they demolition a building, the explosives and stuff are put in certain areas to make it so it falls straight down like the Twin Towers did,
Yeah.
instead of falling to the side or whatever. It takes them weeks worth of calculating and all that kind of stuff to know where to put the demolition stuff, the explosives, and the timing of what each one goes off to make it fall straight down. There was none of that supposedly in the Twin Towers, but they both fell exactly the same way with zero planning by getting hit by 2 planes. That is an astronomical anomaly.
See, I don't think that. When you have 2 planes full of fuel, liquid
Okay.
fire,
Okay.
and 90% of the building is on fire because
But
this
why
liquid
does
fire,
okay, but that's what I'm saying.
it burned from the inside.
I understand. But when things are blown up and taken out, to get it to fall
Right.
straight down, it has to be done in a exact, precise way. There's no way that exact, precise way happened from 2 planes.
But no, you're missing my point. My point,
I'm not saying what that happened
when you demo a building, all the drywall, all the wood, the flooring is all intact and has its structural integrity.
Right.
These buildings were on fire and everything was melting, so it was just
Okay.
a shell at that point.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't hold the building up. That's not what would make it fall to the left or the right or forward or back. The actual structure of the building is what will make that stuff go left, right, forward, back. How did it fall perfectly twice with zero calculation? But they have to calculate hours and hours and hours and hours and hours when they demolition one building to make it right. It happened twice within 3 hours?
Yeah.
With no calculations, come on.
I don't know.
That's
What
an
do you think,
anomaly.
peeps?
I
I'm
I
on
think
one side,
that's-
he's on the other.
That's an anomaly to me. I'm sorry.
Well, we're over.
But I'm not an engineer. But I'm just saying, if you think about how they take buildings down, that's what they do. So it's a lot of planning to make it work right. And it just happened by chance twice in a row in 3 or 4 hours or 5 hours or whatever the hell it was. Just by chance, it just happened that they felt like that. We got that lucky.
Well, Guess we'll just have to wait and see if anybody comments.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that it was staged. I'm not saying we did it to ourselves. I'm just saying there's things that you're kind of like, interesting.
Things that make you go,
Things that put you in that area where that's really weird.
All right, peeps.
Moment of pause,
Yep.
I suppose, would be what you would call that.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.